Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to tonight's weekly overview. It is 8:33 p.m., 12/16 of 2018, nearing Christmas. Here we go for another weekly market overview. What we're going to do tonight is we are going to go over some of the main currency pairs that we generally mark up and that we generally trade. And then we're also going to look at forexfactory.com to look at any upcoming news events that could affect a particular currency as well. For those of you that are brand new, this is a great time to gain insight into the market. What exactly are we looking at? What are we expecting from currency pairs in the long term? For those of you that know, that have already been through the training, what we do is we trade from the top down. What that means is we start with the higher time frame first and then work our way down to more precise, smaller time frames. The reason why we do that is we want to get a general idea of what's going on with the overall trend first before we make an entry. Now, many of you already know we usually catch about 1,000 pips per week, and you might be wondering, how do they catch 1,000 pips in a week? If you do the math on that, on a micro lot, 1,000 pips per week is $100, okay? On a mini lot, 1,000 pips per week is $100, or I'm sorry, $1,000. Okay, on a mini lot, a 0.10, for 1,000 pips, you've made $1,000. On a standard lot, if you use a standard lot on 1,000 pips, you've made 10 grand that week. Okay, so when you look at profitability of the market, it's extremely profitable. The opportunities will present themselves, okay? But we're only looking for the top 10% of trade setups in the whole market. I'm not interested in a trade that looks halfway decent. I'm not interested in a trade that I think might go up or I think might go down. I want to look at that chart, and that chart screams, buy me or sell me. When you look at a trade from here on out, when you look at that chart, it has to be screaming buy or sell. If it doesn't, and it doesn't meet all of your confirmations, our mastermind's key confirmations, we don't take the trade. Let me know in the chat box if you guys can hear me. Let me know in the chat box if you guys can hear what I'm saying. That's very, very important. Taisha, thank you. Joni, thank you. Chris, thank you. We all need to understand that concept, because emotionally, it's going to be very easy for you to jump into trades that you shouldn't be in at all. There's a saying, most Forex traders would make way more money if they just sat on their hands. Just don't overtrade. But as a brand new trader, it's going to be easy for you to come in and want to overtrade, okay? So I want you to keep in mind, we talk about feeding the beast. What does that mean? What is feeding the beast? When you're brand new, you're going to have a tendency to want to trade a lot. That's okay. You can trade as much as you'd like. Take as many trades as you want. But when you first start, take most of your trades on a demo account. That way you're not risking your own money. But in terms of our signals, take those on the live account. And I only recommend taking 2 trades maximum per day on your live account when you first start. All right, so let me reiterate that. Take all of your trades on a demo, no matter what. Even the signals we give you, take them on the demo account. But the signals exclusively, not your trades, your signals, take those on your live account, okay? All right, so let's break this down, because that's very exciting, you guys. I'm so excited about Genevieve and her signals. I mean, Genevieve was killing it. I don't know if you guys noticed on that chart, Genevieve caught way more pips than I did. I think it turned out to be around 700 pips, and I caught about 300. That's incredible. Now, generally, that's what you're going to find, is that Genevieve is going to catch a lot of pips. She's got a lot of long-term positions that she gives you guys. Right now, I'm more focused on short-term trades that can get you guys 20, 30 pips and get you in and out of the market. Whereas Gigi's going to focus a lot more on catching you those long-term pips and making sure that you secure that profit. So that's very exciting. We also have Matt K and Dan as well that are going to be regularly dropping signals and charts, also doing educational trainings as well for you, okay? And then also many other traders that will be coming in that we're collaborating with to provide you some more value. So we're always working on improving our education for you to learn the skill. Because remember, let's talk about this for a second before we get into it. This is not all about signals, okay? I get people all the time that ask me, they say, hey, Sean, how much is your signals group? You guys get great results. You guys catch a lot of pips. I want your signals. Or I get people that tell me, hey, do you guys have an automated? Listen, you guys, that's not something that I'm interested in doing. Why is that? Why is that? Well, because if I do that, you're never going to make profit on your own. If I give you a trading bot and trade on your behalf or whatever, or I just give you signals, sure, you're going to make money, but you'll never be independent. You'll never be independent, okay? I want you to learn the skill set. I want you to do what I do, what Gigi does, what Matt does, what Dan does, and other traders, okay? I want you to learn the skill set the right way. It's all about the education at the end of the day. So don't forget that. Don't get caught up in the signals of the convenience factor. Remember, if you want to be the top 1% of traders, you can't think like everybody else. And believe me, most traders out there are thinking, where can I get the signals? Where can I read the charts? Where can I do this? Where can I do that? Whereas where you really need to be looking is inside of you. How can you develop the skill? It's like Jim Rohn says, don't wish you were better, wish you had more skills, okay? Develop your high-paying skill set of trading and investing. It's going to pay you for the rest of your life. And I hope genuinely for every one of you on this call, okay, that you make way more than I've ever made. I hope everyone on here dominates me in trading, that you could out-trade me any day of the week. But for right now, I'm the master instructor and I'm here to teach. So it's my hope that you're here to be an open student and learn how this skill works, because it's a very powerful skill set. So for those of you that are brand new, I commend you on taking this journey and taking steps forward to refine your skill and to learn this, because it is a freeing skill. This will give you the ultimate freedom if you do it the right way. So for Desiree and for Harry, brand new. Rostum's pretty new as well. Thanks for jumping on the call, brother. Chris as well. All of you, John, everybody. It can happen. It is possible. Learn it the right way. All right, so let's get right into it. You guys, let me know again. Just let me know if you're excited to go over the market tonight. Let me know if you're excited to talk about a few things. Genevieve, go ahead and unmute for a minute. Genevieve is also going to go over a few things. So what I wanted to do tonight was I wanted to gain some insight from Gigi as well. So I'm going to open up a chart. I'm going to open up a pair. I'm going to go over that pair. I'm going to mark up the pair. And then I'm also going to ask Gigi for a quick analysis. She's going to kind of give us a verbal analysis, whether she agrees with me, she disagrees, what she's looking at, just to see if we're all on the same page. Is that cool, Gigi?
Yeah, put me on the spot. Sure.
Well, not really. All you're going to do is just a little bit of commentary. Everybody really wants to hear from you. Everybody really trusts your analysis. So I want you all to get to analysis on all the pairs tonight, okay? So not for right now, Gigi, but I will bring you on after we mark up a chart.
Oh, okay.
So let's get right into it, you guys. The first chart I'm going to open up is going to be Euro USD. Also, if you could please refrain from drawing on the screen. I know you have the ability to annotate the screen, but if you could please go ahead and just not do that, that would be great, okay? And let's go ahead and get right into it. We're going into Euro USD. Now, we've been following this for a while, and we noticed some bullish divergence occurring in Euro USD. Genevieve called an excellent buy trade on Euro USD. It's been very profitable, and I believe it's going to continue to be profitable and hit take profit this week. My internet's a little slow to load when I have a Zoom call running as well. It's actually probably my laptop because I have so many things going on and I actually have something downloading in the background. So please bear with me. Generally, it's not this slow, though. I'm a little confused on that. Everything's been a little funny today. I've had issues with Coinbase. I've had issues with Cash App. Now with the internet at home, it's one of those days. All right, let's get right into it. So we have Euro USD open. You can see that I have some indicators open on the screen. I have Bollinger Bands, RSI, and MACD. However, we're going to go ahead and eliminate the MACD for now. Those of you that know how to trade with it, that's great. You can go ahead and continue to trade with that. We're just going to stick to the RSI and our normal confirmations, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look here. And it looks like I've already marked up the chart quite a bit from last time and left my drawings on there. Let's see if we had some good predictions on the analysis. Let's jump to the daily. We always trade from the top down, so we start at the highest time frame first. All right, so last time we recognized we had an uptrend prior here. A few months ago, we had a long-lasting uptrend with some sideways movement there that's indicated in the green rectangle zone. And then we notice what happens after sideways movement. We have a downtrend, right? Or a reversal, rather. When we have a long-term sideways movement, generally a reversal happens if we're in a key level, which we were. We were at a key resistance level there. But let's go ahead and zoom into our current price and see what's happening. And it looks like it's actually following analysis pretty well, at least in terms of the RSI where I have my line drawn. You can see that it's continuing to gain momentum to the upside. It actually looks like we're looking at a bearish candle here on the daily. Okay, so that's not on the smaller time frame, just on the daily. So it looks to be completing this, perhaps completing this reverse head and shoulders pattern. However, I'm a little concerned because it didn't do a continuation to the upside. It actually continued to consolidate. So what we could be looking at here is a retest of the zone. And if you guys can see here, we can see some wicking action going on with this candle, which is indicative of a reversal. Okay, so volume is actually pulling from the supply zone. Okay, so we have our support level, okay, and it's actually pulling from that zone, and it should take us to the upside. Now, we notice divergence, which is where the price is telling us one thing, but the indicator is telling us another, right? And we looked at the downtrend here on Euro USD, a clearly defined downtrend, but we noticed there is bullish divergence indicated by this green arrow down here in the RSI. Can everybody see that? Okay, so we did notice that. I still anticipate a very strong uptrend up into the red resistance zone, and then potentially even further up into the higher zone up here. However, at this time, our real target is going to be that red zone. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're actually going to day trade in between here, because there are going to be great buying and selling opportunities. Euro USD arguably is the best currency pair to trade because it is a major, and it's the two major currencies, euro and US dollar. So we always day trade this currency, right? Between myself and Gigi, we put out a lot of signals for your EU. So Genevieve, can you talk about your analysis on this for a minute here, please? I don't know if she stepped away or not. Genevieve, are you still by your device there? I unmuted you there, Gigi. Can you hear me? Can everybody else hear me? She might be away from her computer right now. Okay.
I can hear you.
Genevieve, are you near your device or are you away for a moment? She might have stepped away because I told her I was going to mark up a chart. Anyway, I'm pretty sure Gigi's on board because she did place a buy for Euro USD. It's not a super long-term trade. However, I think that she's bullish on EU as well. Excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next chart. However, before I do that, I'd like to get some other opinions. Matt? Matt has the baby right now, maybe not able to okay, Harry wants to know that.
Fuzzy right now.
That's all right. Harry would like to know the basis for the trade that Gigi had. What was the technical analysis that caused this trade to happen? Okay. If someone could do me a favor in the chat box, please. If you could give me the signal in the chat box, please, and let me know the time frame. My phone is charging currently. I can see if I can find it here momentarily. Give me 1 second.
Sean, I got it. Give me a second. Sean, can you hear me?
I'll go ahead and look at that.
I got it right here.
Okay, the time frame is the daily. Great. So maybe it was more long-term than I had expected. Go ahead and drop it in the chat box there for me. Also, for those of you in the southern part of the country, we are hosting an event in Genevieve's backyard in Mobile, Alabama. I know Harry is in southern Florida. However, we are running an event there. It's going to be in mid-January. We're going to be releasing the flyer very soon. For those of you that live near Alabama that may want to make it out, it's going to be a great event. You can invite guests. We're going to have free food and drink. We're going to have a beautiful Airbnb that we're going to stay at. Matt's made many accommodations for us for that, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to be teaching a lot at a live event as well, so we're excited for that. So those of you that want more information on that event, we are going to drop the flyer, and for those of you that want to make it out, let me know, and we can try and make accommodations for you to do that. Deb says it's a bit far. Yeah, for you, Deb, that might be a bit far, but I promise you we will be in Australia very, very soon. I just talked to someone else that's from Australia, lives about 10 minutes from the Gold Coast. She is going to be joining the team very soon, probably within the next, maybe even today. And I'm extremely excited for her. Actually, Deb, we talked about you. She is friends with you on Facebook. Her name is Haley Devrell, Devrell. So yes, Haley. So she's very, very excited, and looks like she'll be joining us soon. But anyway, okay, let's get right into it to answer Harry's question here. Sorry, you guys. Matt, where's our signal at?
Need a second. My internet's being slow too. 1 second. Almost there.
Also, I want to let you guys know this too. This is a cool tip. Everybody listen up. While Matt's finding that, I want to show you something very cool. Some of you are worried about missing signals, especially Deb. You might already know about this. However, I want to show you a feature that Facebook has that you might not have known about. Now, on your mobile device, it'll look a little bit different. So instead of hitting the gearbox, which is what we're about to do, you're going to hit the little eye in the top right corner of your chat box. And what you're going to do is you're going to click on Search in Conversation. If you ever want to find a signal, you can search in the conversation. I'd actually have to open up Messenger and do that, but I can just explain it. So you'll search in the conversation, and then you're going to search for Pip Queen signal or Mastermind signal, and it'll show you all the signals from the whole time in the chat, which is really cool because instead of having to scroll through that whole chat, you can actually go through and select the exact signal that you want. That's the most recent. So it'll go in chronological order as well. So if you ever think, oh, I might have missed a signal, just go ahead and type that in the search bar, and you'll be able to find it very quickly. All right, let's see what we got here from Matt.
So I got to switch my phone. My computer's being dumb.
Okay, so I'm guessing here. I don't want to waste too many time on Euro USD here. Too much time there. So go ahead and do that still, Matt. But my best guess is here. Her chart. Harry, can you tell me what the take profit was? Harry probably knows. Can you go ahead and do that in the chat box?
I got it right here, Sean.
Okay.
Stop loss is 1.12612, and take profit was 1.1330.
Hold on. Stop loss is what?
1.12612.
Yes.
Take profit was 1.13300.
1.11.
No, 1.13300.
Oh. Okay. Actually says Harry's not in the meeting anymore. Did he leave?
No, Harry's still here. Harry Johnson.
Yeah, I went to it. It accidentally went to message him. Okay, he's here.
Nice.
I don't know why it did that. It went to message him and then it wouldn't do it. But I got it set to everyone now. We're good. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so we have Genevieve's trade. I'm going to go ahead and use a horizontal line to indicate the entry. Do you know what the entry is? Or was it just market execution? That's probably what it was. It's fine. Let's just assume it. Yeah. Okay. So let's see, Harry. Good question. Hey, you guys, listen. You know, this is all about asking questions and getting to know and getting familiar with these charts. 1.1266. Okay, for this example, I'm going to make that stop loss orange because I have other colored lines on my chart. Now I want to know which ones are hers. And then our take profit, oh, that's an easy one. Okay, will also be an orange. Well, I'll make it a different color. 1.13300. Okay, I would actually be looking at this myself on the 4 hour. Okay, I would personally look at this on the 4 hour. So let's go ahead and jump over there. However, it works on the daily too, but we can get a little more insight. So we have our two lines. You guys can see these two orange lines here. We have our stop loss is orange, and then let's make this take profit. We'll make it light blue, baby blue. Okay. I can definitely see where she's coming from on that. So if we take a closer look at this trend, can everybody see this trend right here at the end here? Go ahead in the chat box and drop a 2. If you can just see this trend right here, this previous trend that we're dealing with right now.
Nice descending channel.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on here. I'll use purple for trend lines for this. Can everybody see this trend? This channel?
Yes.
Okay, this is what Gigi is trading between these two lines, okay? Now, notice that she set her take profit below that bearish candle. That's exactly where it should be. She noticed a green bullish candle, probably on the 15-minute, and she placed a market execution buy. Okay, and she's anticipating, whether this is a flag or an impulse, she's anticipating it to hit that blue line. I think that's a very, very conservative trade. I see that being just very well played. I think that that's an excellent trade. It's extremely conservative. I mean, she could have really, well, it's actually pretty much directly where I would probably put my take profit. I might scoot it up a little bit. I could put it up here, but keep in mind, you don't want your take profit at the other trend line because there's no guarantee it's going to hit that other trend line, okay? As you notice here, there was wicking action previous that hit the trend line, but there's no guarantee. So what we do generally in that case is we set our take profit about 10 pips below the trend line. Let's take a look. Yes, Gigi's is about 10 pips below the trend line. So that would be, I mean, that's textbook what we would do and what we would trade. Remember, you want to be conservative. You want to catch pips where you can. Don't do it at the trend line because it might not hit. Set it 10, 15 pips below. Be conservative. And on this trade, let's go ahead and measure the pip count. Market execution, you're going to make about 50 pips.
Hey, Sean.
Yes.
Can you go over how you would analyze if this trade only goes to the middle of the channel? What you'd use to know when to get out, make sure it doesn't retrace back?
If it goes to the middle of the channel and keeps going down,
Yeah.
I would just wait for it to stop loss
Okay.
and re-enter the trade. Yeah. Always use your stop loss. Don't feel like, you need to get out at the middle of the trend. If you start to see some different activity, let it ride. Let it ride. Let your stop loss do the work for you. But here he's asking a good question. What is the risk to reward? So let's go ahead and calculate that. So we actually have a tool on TradingView, and forgive me for all the drawings, but I don't want to get rid of my main drawing on the daily. So if we look at risk to reward, I'm going to also have to put our entry here to identify that. So let me grab another horizontal line. I'm going to place our entry right here. This is a very good risk to reward ratio. Okay, now that I have my 3 lines, I have the orange line is the stop loss, the middle baby blue line is the entry, and the furthest baby blue line is the take profit. Let's go ahead and use our risk to reward tool on TradingView by going over here to this button here, okay? This will tell you it's called a long position. Now, if you're expecting it to go up or on a buy, you're going to use the long position. If your trade is a sell, you'll go down to the short position. Of course, here we're placing a buy, so we're going to click long position. We're going to come over here to our entry, and we're just going to click. Okay? Now, this is really cool. Check this out. What I can do, Harry, is I can take this bottom dot, which is my stop loss, pull it up to my orange line. Then I'm going to take my target and pull it up to my baby blue line. Now let me make sure this is precise. So I have the middle dot on my entry, the open P&L. The stop is on the orange line. And the target is right on our blue line. So as you can see here, we have a risk reward ratio 2.48 or 1 to 2.5 basically, which is right in the parameters. We want to ride between 1 to 2 to 1 to 3. 1 to 3 is ideal, but she has it at 1 to 2.5. Very good trade. I wouldn't complain with this at all. I think this is very well placed. Everything was very precise. I can totally see where she was going with this. Genevieve, are you back on your computer? Okay, she must have stepped away for a moment. That's fine. So with that being said, that's my analysis on where she was at with her trade. Harry, is that making sense for you? Perfect. Okay, and that's exactly how it works. Listen, this is why we use a stop loss. I'm willing to risk 20 pips to make 50. Pretty simple. I'm willing to risk 20 to make 50, and that's exactly what we're doing here. You can see 20 pips, stop loss, 50 pip profit. Make sense? Okay, cool. And I can go ahead and remove that. So that is our analysis for Euro USD. We are looking for an uptrend where we're just going to stick with Gigi's trade signal there. Another chart I have a lot of markup on. Let's go ahead and take a look. One of my favorite pairs, for those of you that know me, I love JPY. Why do I love JPY? Does anybody know why I love JPY? If you can listen, if you can tell me in the chat box right now why I love JPY, I'm going to give you one of my trading books and $25 in Bitcoin. Anybody right now can tell me why I love USD JPY, and you got to know the answer. There's one specific answer. Why? Might as well take a shot at it. Moves a lot. Yes, most movement. Because it follows Fibonacci religiously. Because of the way the pips are calculated. What else do we got? What do you think, Matt? I probably haven't talked to Matt about this, but I probably have mentioned it to Genevieve. Strong currency. Anyone else? Anyone else know why I love to trade JPY pairs? All right. Something to do with time zone. Interesting guess. That was an interesting guess. All right, so let's get into it. So technically nobody had it right. I'm sorry, you guys. I will be giving away that book and the money soon, though. I'm going to have a contest here. It's going to be more than 25 in Bitcoin, though. I'm going to make it better for you guys. But, you know, it's actually because it follows market structure. Matt says follows channels. Matt's actually right, but he's not getting the book or the money. I'm cheap. He's not getting nothing. Matt doesn't qualify. Matt's disqualified. Matt might get a nice drink when we're in Alabama. Matt will get a different perk.
Deal.
All right. So regardless, that was all good though. Harry was the closest with Fibonacci levels. It does respect Fibonacci very well, but the biggest reason is market structure. Okay, Genevieve says, look up. I see my ceiling. I see the chat. Oh, no. Genevieve guessed it. Genevieve got it on point. I think she cheated, though. I think that was the same time I said it, Genevieve. I'm not doing that. Genevieve's cheating. Genevieve, go ahead and unmute. I was looking for you. Where are you at?
Sorry, had to step away, and I did not cheat. It came in right before you said it, or just before, right as you were saying it.
You're
Just
good.
in me trying to type it. I was trying to type it and getting all kinds of errors.
Oh, you're good. Hey, but listen, I wanted to ask you, Harry was wondering earlier, you're on your analysis for EU. Can you just verbally explain why you took that trade?
On EU?
Yeah, Euro USD, that signal you gave. Can you explain why you gave that signal?
Let me look at my markup. Hold on a second.
We'll jump back just for a second. But I already went over it with everybody.
Yeah?
So we already identified that you had a perfect risk to reward ratio pretty much. And
Okay.
you took the buy right when it hit support, right when it hit the bottom trend line.
Right.
Okay, so that was pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So that's good. Now I'm going to need you on the next one, though, so don't leave me.
I'm not. I'm here. I'm sorry. Things happen in my house I have to take care of
No,
sometimes.
I know. It's okay. I understand. All right, so now we're looking at Euro JPY. So, yes, exactly what Matt and Genevieve said. Of course, naturally, they knew because I've talked to them about it. Market structure is great on JPY pairs. They have a tendency to really react well to trend lines. So, as predicted before, and look at what's happening. The last line that I drew was this red line right here. Can everybody see this? Let's get rid of that. But can everybody see that red line? This red line right here. That was the last red line that I drew.
Okay.
And I had it set for a downtrend from that top. And look exactly what it did. It went back down to that bottom trend line, didn't it? Now look what it's doing. Look at where my green arrow is. What's happening?
Going right back up.
It's going right back up to the top trend line. So perfect analysis from last week's market overview. This is a perfect analysis. We're looking at what's called an ascending wedge. Okay? Can anyone in the chat box, aside from Genevieve and Matt, tell me what an ascending wedge does? Does it go up or does it go down? Harry says it ascends.
I know Taisha knows. Is Taisha on here?
I don't know if Harry's being sarcastic or if he's being honest here. But yeah, technically it does ascend. But what does it do after it's completed? After the formation, after the price pattern is formed, what does an ascending wedge do? It breaks out, right? It breaks out. Does it go up or down? Genevieve and Matt can go ahead and put their answer in the chat now. Well, a lot of people said up. Matt says down.
Down.
Genevieve says down. Okay, so technically speaking, you can have an ascending wedge that does go up. We have seen that before. It does happen. However, most of the time an ascending wedge does go down because it's already had an existing uptrend. It's usually reaching a key level, and volume is starting to consolidate. So the closer it gets to the tip of the triangle or the wedge, the more price is consolidating. What does consolidation show? Lower volume. Okay, lower volume. So think about it. The market already went up a lot, right? We had this big uptrend. It already impulsed quite a bit. It used a lot of volume to go up. Now it's at the ceiling. It's at the resistance zone, and it's starting to consolidate and go sideways in a wedge formation. What does that pretty much tell you? Probably going to go down once it gets to the end of the wedge, right? As the analysis shows. You all can see that. I have that big red arrow right there showing a predicted downtrend after it touches the top trend line. So right now it's going to touch that top trend line. It's in the middle of the trend, so I don't recommend trading it. Actually, let me get rid of this Fibonacci here. Technically, this line I love when those things get in the way. I would delete all that. I really would.
It drives me crazy.
I would delete everything.
Yep.
Just give me the candles.
Yep.
Okay, so now that I've zoomed out, which I don't want to do, I really want to zoom in. I need to pull this down to make it a little more accurate. Technically, we're very, very close right now. Can you all see how that works from wick to wick? One touch, two touches, three touches right here. We're going for the fourth touch, and then we're expecting the downtrend after it touches there. Now, if you notice, it's not at the end of the wedge when I draw that downtrend. Do you see that? Can everybody see that? It's not at the end of the wedge. It's not there yet. But why did I draw that downtrend if it's not at the end of the wedge? The reason why I did that is because it's already consolidated quite a bit, okay? Once it reaches right here, it's pretty much going to be at its last point of consolidation. I'd be surprised if it tightened up into that wedge, but we've already analyzed it. It's fine. If it goes to the end of the wedge, we'll know. We'll know when it happens. How do we know when to take the sell? Can anyone tell me how we know when to take the sell? Or where is the prime place to take the sell? See, a lot of traders would get this confused. A lot of traders would do something else than what I'm about to tell you. You have two options. I'm going to give you two options. You can say one or two. Just wait a minute here for me. Option one is right here below the trend line after it's broken through the trend line. And option two is the top trend line. What would you rather do? One or two? Remember, 1 is after it breaks through the bottom trend line. 2 is at the top trend line.
Two.
1 is the bottom trend line. 2 is the top trend line. Okay. For me, might not be you, but for me, I would trade that top trend line, number 2. Okay? I would place the sell at the top. Why would I do that instead of waiting for confirmation that it's breaking the trend? Well, historically, price is shown to wick up and reject that zone. So if I'm expecting a downtrend, what I want to do is I want to place my entry where it's most likely to go down. Because again, it's not guaranteed it's going to go down right at that spot. It's not guaranteed to go down right at that top trend line way below where the bottom of that big red arrow is. However, it's pretty much, I'd say almost a certainty that it is going to go down from that point down to the bottom of the wedge, right? Like we've seen over and over again 3 different times. So with that being said, I'll at least catch that small move by placing my sell up here. Also, if it does break through, which it will, I'm going to catch that many more pips. So let's take a look at this. If you would have placed your sell at number 1 with confirmation, you would have made 170 pips. If you would have placed your sell at the top trend line, you would have made 280 pips. Okay? So you would have made $2,800 or about $1,600. It's up to you. Worst case scenario, let's say it doesn't break it, but you do catch the move down to the bottom of the wedge. And this is being very conservative. Notice how I put the exit above the trend line, not at the trend line. We don't measure it like that. We're conservative when we measure our take profit. 80, maybe 90 pips, maybe, but I'd say, let's just say 90 pips. 900 bucks or 90 bucks on a mini lot. Okay? Easily can be done in a day. Easily, all day long. So with that being said, I would much rather place my entry where it's historically proven to drop than at the bottom of the wedge where it's shown me it usually goes up, right? It usually goes up at the bottom of the wedge. I don't want to place my sell there. Even if it does break through the trend line, there's a potential of it wicking up and going back up. Like, look at this. Check this out. This was a seller's trap. Watch this. Right here, the banks trapped the sellers. They did it twice. As a matter of fact, 3 times, as far as I can see. Right here, you were trapped because it broke the trend line. On the 15-minute chart, you would have seen a couple big red candles going below your trend line thinking, oh, yeah, this thing's going down. Now it's ready to go down. Right? And you would have noticed that divergence, right? Let's take a look at that, which I don't even have drawn, which is kind of weird, but actually, okay, this one. Oh, there is some there is some. It's not my favorite, but there is some. I like it to be more exaggerated where the RSI is really pointing down. Okay, can everybody see that? Type a 2 in the chat box if everybody can see. We have an uptrend, but the RSI is showing us a potential downtrend. Perfect. Divergence is a key indicator. Remember our key indicators. Number 1, market structure. Number 2, price action. Number 3, RSI. Number 4, divergence. And then number 5, that can be your Bollinger Bands or a stochastic, whichever you choose. you will notice that I don't really trade with moving averages. I just don't. I will on a scalp, but I don't really need them. Long term, I can look at a moving average and say, okay, yeah, it's not really, it needs to go up to hit that moving average, or it needs to go down to find equilibrium, but I don't really trade off of it. Yeah, I mentioned Bollinger Bands. I like Bollinger Bands. I love using them for scalping, but I don't really use them that much on higher time frames. However, take a look. This would have met our criteria because on this last trade where I said it was going to be an uptrend right here, it poked through the bottom Bollinger Band. Those of you that aren't on this training yet, it's okay if you're not to Bollinger Bands yet. But in the Bollinger Bands training, we talked about how price will go above or below. Above the top band is indicating a sell, and below the bottom band is indicating a buy. Okay, so it hit the trend line. It crossed through with a bearish candle, and then we bought into the high volume bullish candle that presented after it. We had a doji as well, marking indecision. So if we're already on a downtrend, then we find a couple dojis, or at least even one, that marks indecision. If the market's indecisive about that downtrend, what happens? Reversal, which is what we saw here. High volume green candle carrying over. I expect another follow through the top trend line, and then we can go ahead and place our sell. We're very, very close to our sell. I'm looking to sell right here. I'm going to place a sell limit. Let's go ahead and take this trade. We'll place our sell limit at 113.805 for USD JPY.
Woohoo.
Oh, I don't know what happened there. Did you see that? It did. I don't know what happened right there. That was weird. I've been going for almost an hour, huh? Jeez. I didn't think it was that long. Okay, we'll go ahead and set our stop loss. $114, $147.
Y'all realize he's giving you a trade call, right?
Yeah, write it fast as I can.
Okay. The man, the legend's giving it.
Not yet. We'll go ahead and set our take profit. Let me see. Let me get a little more precise on this for you guys. $112,838. But what's the most important thing we need to do right now? We need to identify the risk to reward. I need to make sure that my risk to reward is good. Now, this is a short position. We are selling. So I'm going to go over here to measurement tools and click on short position. Place it on my entry. Stop loss is 114, 147. Let's see if it meets our criteria. Take profit is 112, 838. Which I think it's right on point. Yep, perfect. Risk to reward is 1 to 2.79. Nearly 1 to 3 risk to reward. We are willing to risk 34.2 pips in order to make 95.5. Can everyone see that? Drop a 57 in the chat box if you can see that, please. Drop a 57.256789060 if you can see that.
If somebody, somebody may have gotten it. Dang.
Look at that. Harry's got it. Matt got it too.
Laser focus.
Actually, Matt was wrong. Harry was right. I knew Harry was going to be right. All I had to do was look at Harry's number and then check Matt's and figure out it was wrong. That's horrible.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Harry probably thinks we're a funny group, huh? Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, that looks great. Anybody against that trade idea at all? And be honest, you guys can think critically here. Does anybody think we should do something different or hold off? I've been known to be impulsive.
Definitely hold on.
Oh, we got O. Dwayne with us. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing, man? What's your analysis?
I think we should definitely hold on until it hits the trend line.
Right. So we placed our sell limit there. That's a good place to place a sell limit order?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you agree?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you getting on the call, man.
Yeah, no problem.
How you
I just
doing?
got home from work.
Very nice. You caught the signal. If you guys would, because you're on this call, go ahead and take that signal. I actually decided I'm not even going to put it in the group. For those that made it on the call, you got the signal. Everybody else missed it. I appreciate you guys jumping on these calls. All right. So everybody's got it. I want to make sure everybody's got it before I get off. So again, entry is 113,805. Stop loss 114,147. Take profits 112,838. All right, real quick. Euro US or EJ. I had a guy yesterday that approached me and said that he wanted to trade with us, and ended up being a conversation about him wanting me to promote his trading bot. You guys noticed I commented in the chat and warned you guys about trading bots or trading on people's behalf. You want to be very careful with that. If anybody ever says, hey, I can trade on your behalf, I can make your account go 5x, 10x, be very, very leery of that. Even professional account managers. I talked to a friend today, actually at our Christmas party, who has a fund manager. He's losing money with a professional fund manager. Someone who's a professional is losing his money in the stock market, which I don't even understand how that works. This is a bull trend. How is anybody losing money in the stock market? I mean, a 5-year-old come in right now and make money in the stock market. It's blowing my mind, but he's losing money. So the guy must be day trading it or something, but yeah. So just be aware of that. All right, let's take a look. Oh, interesting. Looks like we have a bit of a sideways trend going on for EJ here. Looks like we've been on a bit of an uptrend. It's holding the trend line very well. What do you guys expect is going to happen here? Up or down in the chat box, please.
Reversal.
I'm in a trade for that.
Rachel, you can copy it from anybody here on the call. They'll give you the signal. If somebody wants to put it in the chat, that'd be great. Oh yeah, we're in the trade right now, by the way.
Yeah. Doing very well, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I'm expecting an uptrend here. I mean, I expect an uptrend up to the top.
Yeah, that's what I expect.
So if you're in the trade, we're looking good. Nice sideways movement here. I'm really happy. So sideways movement at the bottom trend line. We're at the median of the RSI. Almost at 50. We're going to be looking for trend to go up like that and approach the overbought zone. Make sense? Thanks, Matt. There you go, Rachel. Let me know if this makes sense, you guys. We're looking at an uptrend, and we're looking for it to go into the resistance zone. I'm not sure. Oh, because that probably was support turn resistance. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's make it red. Can everybody see that? Looks like for some reason here I have a red line. It's probably right about where the exit will be on the daily. Now, yeah, go ahead, Harry. Oh, how I drew that? Oh, I just did just trend lines. So I come over here to my drawing tool.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Oh,
I can't hear him
So I
either.
don't know
We'll
what
see any
he's
of
saying.
his messages.
Oh,
yeah, it's in the chat.
Yeah.
He says, I don't mean technically. Go ahead, Harry. Are you able to unmute?
oh, he was saying it privately. That's why. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I can unmute.
What did you mean?
What I meant was, how did you actually draw that? I don't mean technically. I don't mean on the chart using TradingView. I meant when I go to the dailies, I don't see that lower ascending line where I would actually put that in there.
Okay.
Maybe I need to go out farther, but I'm looking at the day chart as you're looking at, and I
Yep.
just couldn't see how you drew that. Just want to see how you figured that out. Let me see. Oh, I see. It's a long-term one. It's a pretty.
It is. So it's the bottom trend line of the trend. But what happened was where we identified lower highs was at
I
the
see it
top
now.
trend
I
line.
see it. I see that now. Yeah, I get it. Okay, I didn't go back far enough. That's what it was.
Yeah, you're good. I understand.
I got it. Okay. Perfect.
Everybody can blame Harry for slowing down the lesson. Glad to have you with us, Harry.
Come on.
Glad to be here.
So what do you guys think on EJ? I mean, you think we should hold this thing or what? What I'm looking at here is I see some resistance here as well. So I might pull that back and be a little more conservative on that. If we wanted to take a long-term trade, you could trade it up to that point. But
I'm set.
oh, I don't know what's going on here. But if you want to take a more short-term position, you can go ahead and just take it to that resistance zone there, which is 250 pips. Might not be a bad idea. Make sense? Because it's interesting. If you look at price patterns here, we have a what looks to be like a reverse head and shoulder here, but it's not, well, yeah, maybe it is. Hard. No, it's not. It looks like one though. Actually, I think it is. It is. A reverse head and shoulder. Okay. Wow, it's going slow. With a continuation to the upside. But now, it looks like we have a head and shoulders forming here. But the neckline isn't meeting up. That would have been our neckline. That means that this candle would have had to come down here and touch this spot right here in order to be a perfect head and shoulders, and it's not. And it's pretty sideways. They can be sideways, but it's not. It's actually chosen to consolidate and go sideways.
Sean, are you seeing a wedge too?
What?
You seeing a wedge to the top left? You drag the trend line all the way back down. See what I'm seeing? Top left corner, the high.
Yeah.
Draw a trend line down. It looks like a wedge to me. So up.
Right here?
Yeah, and follow. Take that trend line, move it up.
I'm trying to. I don't know what's going on here. This is kind of.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off either.
No, you're good. It's just. What are you seeing? I don't know. It's hard to say.
No, the right side.
More?
No, am I crazy? You see it too?
No.
Okay.
No, because this high right here broke through that.
Yeah, I guess.
So it's not qualified because of that high. But it did maintain this structure right here,
Okay.
which is good. I mean, you know, this is a good trend. This is a good trend. My guess is that it's wanting to continue to go sideways until it actually horizontally runs into the trend line right about here, and then it may go up. But it's consolidated for a while. I mean, I don't really see it consolidating much longer. Let's go to a smaller time frame. See that sideways movement? You literally could have traded that whole move. Look at this, you guys. Just notice the range. Where's the top? And where's the bottom? Buy, sell, buy, sell. Done. Confirmations. Let's go right here. RSI is oversold. Wicking action below the trend line. We buy this. It goes up, hits the top trend line. Wicking action down. We could have sold that, even though on the RSI it wasn't really telling me to. Okay. It kind of consolidated in there for a little bit. Went back down. We could have bought this because the RSI was close enough where I would have said that was an okay confirmation, not my favorite, and bought that back up to the top. And then back down here, we saw a double bottom, definitely a buy there. Is everybody seeing that double bottom?
Yep.
Right here. What does a double bottom do? Goes up.
Yep.
And what did it do? It went up. Now, we're actually looking, it looks like it's going to be a flag here. It may go back up to the top of the zone, or it may go down a little bit further and then go up. So that's good to look at that smaller time frame to see what the possibilities are. So it is possible that it could go back down near our entry before it actually makes its final move. But it's going to be a big move when it does. So technically speaking, even if we miss out on this short-term trade and our trade hits stop loss here, it'll be in the perfect entry zone for another buy. And that most likely will be the time where it takes the long-term buy, where it goes up to the top of the zone. Makes sense, you guys? Let me know in the chat box. Go ahead and drop a 3 if all of this is making sense for you. This is actually going to be the last one I marked up. I kind of included some, education in here. Try to kind of help you guys out a little bit, help you see things. Hopefully from this, you kind of see the market a little bit differently. You see why we do the weekly overview, why we look at higher time frames. We will cover some other pairs later this week. I'll go over a few different pairs as well. But don't get too caught up in the pair, you guys. If the pair has a structure, you notice what the structure is. You see the trend lines. You see the zones. Trade it. Trade it. If you see a zone forming, don't be afraid. Set your parameters with good risk to reward and run the trade. If you're new, run it on a demo. And then just take our signals for your live account. But if you've been trading for a little bit, you want to take one of yours on a live account, go ahead. It's just we have a lot of people that come in. They've already traded before, and they try to go live on their they go live and then they trade on their live account with their trades, and they lose a lot. So our signals don't give them a chance to make money because they're losing on their signals, or on their trades rather. So in order to maintain profitability, go with what you know, and that's that our signals work. Use our signals on the live account until you're really comfortable on the demo and you're really starting to make a profit there. All right, let's see here. So we have Matt, Taisha, Genevieve, Harry, O'Dwayne, Desiree, Rachel, Chris, Deb, and Joni. Thank you all for being on the call tonight. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. We'll be available there to help. I'm going to go ahead and end the recording. And again, if you have any questions,